Ha, we're live. Welcome. Happy Friday. This is Kat with Kat's Home Chat, if we have not met. And my guest today is coming all the way from Oahu. And this is her second time as a guest with Kat's Home Chat. And she's got some fabulous things she wants to share with you today. So if you have ever wondered or curious about the truths, the myths, and the misconceptions about Feng Shui, you want to stop. Or if you don't have time now, go back or watch it on our YouTube channel later, because she's going to uncover some key points on just those topics. And it just happens to be the title of a book that she co-authored with Dr. Shan-Tung Zhu, and that is Feng Shui, Truth, Myths, and Misconceptions. So hang tight if you've been curious about the fortune corner or a red door. Most of us have heard about that, but you may not have the correct information. Welcome, Jenny, and thank you so much for taking time to meet with me again. I'm so excited.
Thank you for having me again, Kat. I'm so excited to be here as well.
Absolutely. Good stuff. And I know, we try to keep this at about 25, 30 minutes, but, and this is why, we've had you back again, and I'm sure we'll have you another time, because there's just so much rich content. As you and I were saying, pre-show, Feng Shui is energy, and everything is energy. Whether you say, oh, that's woo-woo, it's not woo-woo, guys. It's real. We don't see the air, right? But we know it's oxygen, right? A lot of other things we don't see, but we know it's there. And we're going to dive deep into some of that sensibility of that. So, Jenny, let's just dive right into the first topic that you wanted to and have some passion about sharing with our audience, and that is the myth around a red door. Now, I'm not going to tell you the different things I've heard, but I know people have heard different things. It's lucky, it's not lucky, how should it face, whatever questions. But let us know. Let's just dive into that. What are some of the myths that in your business, your design business, which is, we discussed 80% probably are Feng Shui clients, or clients that are very interested in Feng Shui. What's up with the red door?
Well, here, and you read it all over the internet that the red door is lucky Feng Shui. So you got to paint the front door red, and you read that everywhere.
Yes.
So people, when they see me, they say, "Oh, should I paint my front door red?" And I said, "Well, it depends, And it's actually, the truth about the red front door comes from ancient China, where a long time ago, only the high-ranking Chinese officials could paint their front door red. And so a red door signified, status, wealth, and power, because not everybody could paint their door red. So if you had a red door, automatically everybody knew you were an important person.
So it was a status, kind of like, a status. I mean, we have so many today, but it was a status symbol in ancient China.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
You were a high-ranking government official. But then over time, things change. And that kind of rule kind of disappeared. And then as it disappeared, people thought, well, if I paint my front door red, I'm going to have high status. And that's how it became this kind of Feng Shui thing. So in an energy perspective, it's not a Feng Shui thing. It's more of a cultural thing.
Cultural. Okay, I like that. So I'm just going to intercept here, and you tell me if this is correct or not, because I think color. I have a passion for color. Color is very complicated. I have 3 certifications, master certifications. So the psychology of color and red actually changes, physiologically. Restaurants will paint red because it does raise the blood pressure, and it will make you possibly order more, make that extra dishes, etc. We don't recommend it in homes so much, but is that just the psychology of color, or does that meld into the science and nuances of Feng Shui as well?
Well, in Feng Shui, we say that, of course, in Asian culture, red is a very festive color. It means celebration. We use it for weddings, for New Year's. And so it has a very positive psychological
And
effect.
it's lovely. And I do know, being married to an Asian, that those very nice red envelopes.
Correct. Correct. So, yeah, so it's a very fortunate color in our culture. So for Asian culture, people want it because we have that association with it.
Uh,
But it doesn't mean that everybody has to paint their front door red. So what I say is, if you love red and it matches your house, go for it. But if it doesn't match your house and you want another color, that's fine. What's important is it resonates with your energy. For example, I have a client who is Japanese, and she loved the color of like what's that, kind of a bright blue, like a robin blue, like a Tiffany blue.
mm,
She said, "Oh, do you think it'll be okay to have my front door that color?" And so we went outside and we looked at the colors of her house, and it was a kind of creamy color with a little bit of beige in it. And so we decided to change the color of the shutters, and we changed a few other things, and we painted that front door this beautiful robin blue, and it was very bright. But every time she drove home, she said it just lifted her spirits. And she says, "Oh, my house looks so good." And I said, "That's what we want,
yes.
to make you
Yes.
feel
To
like
make you feel good.
home."
I live in a master plan community, so it's kind of an act of God. You have to look like everybody else in terms of and get written permission and all that. But we did a stage. Actually, one was in Dallas and one was in downtown Houston. It was kind of a bungalow, very it was a memorial area, but older homes and beautiful. I can almost see that door. In fact, I think I have a picture of it on my website with a gold gilded handle, and you
Wow.
step up to the door, but that just set the tone of the home, and it
Right.
went with the neighborhood too, but of course we gave it character,
Right. And then the day we finished it, we were admiring it across the street from the sidewalk, and we said, "Hey, it looks pretty good." We were admiring it. And this little boy with his nanny and another little girl were walking by, and he looked at the door and he said, "I like that." And I thought, oh, for a little child to really like it, that must give off really good energy. And we were just,
yeah, that's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. So I know we have another topic to talk about, and
Okay.
But while we're on the topic of a door, because
Yeah.
you may have mentioned this on our last episode. I know, in my background in new home sales, working for several builders in the Houston area, you run across different ethnicities, and the direction of a front door, let's say for an Indian culture, may be different for an Asian. So why is that? And let's talk about, if we could, just kind of segue on that from the red door fact, which you've clarified, thank you so much, very eloquently, that it's not really a Feng Shui ability so much as, a preference, for the color. What about the direction? How would you answer that, Jen?
Directional, also in China, they say to face south, and that is because the emperor sat with his back to the north and faced south.
That's because what?
That's because of the weather conditions.
Ah.
So the emperor always sat with his back to the north, and then he faced south because the sun came in that way. So everybody says, well, we got to sit like that. But it's really dictated by the weather and the environment. So everybody tries to do that. However, it depends on the landscape. What if your house is facing south, but there's a mountain right there? Okay. But you don't want your front door to face a mountain. You got to face the street. So in Feng Shui, you have to face according to the landscape. So you got to choose properly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
can't
Absolutely.
follow the rules just because that's a rule.
Yeah, there's too many nuances. I see the parallel, in my business with color and design also. Um,
Yes.
The story is one of my. It's going out. The grays are going out,
Mm-hmm.
but um, flippers and investors, I've seen so many that just went, oh, great, gray's the color, we're going to do gray, and you go in there, and the fixed elements are warm. Now, if they would have chosen a grayish or a warm gray, it would have worked. But they don't know that, they didn't get a specialist, so they have a cool gray, and it just looks like they missed the mark. I mean, I went out to a huge home this last weekend, and he actually paid a designer / consultant. Who evidently wasn't properly credentialed. They had niches, huge niches above these, that everything, the cabinets were cocoa chocolate brown, Baltic, granite on the counters. Everything was warm. I mean, they could have gone gray, but the gray was a cool gray. It just missed the mark.
I've seen that too. I've seen it.
Yeah. So don't go with the fads. I recently had a client, well, actually it was last year, and he said, yeah, we just need help with the auxiliary rooms because we're going to do the main house white. And I'm like, do you know how many shades and temperatures there are of white?
Actually, yeah, I had a painter once, and I was having, we were going to sell our house, so I had the painter come in, and I chose my paints, and then I said, oh, no, not that white. You got to use this white. And I was telling him, and he says, oh, talk about white. He says, I did a house, and the lady chose it with this small little chip, and it came out pink. I said, oh. I said it had a pink undertone.
Those pesky undertones will get you every time.
And she came and she said, I didn't choose that. You put the wrong thing on. And so he got the paint chip, and she went, oh my God, I had no idea.
And the problem is, I mean, not only not knowing the undertones, is critical, but you should never pick paint, at Home Depot or at the store, because the lights are going to change it and look much different. But yeah, those undertones are can
They're
be
sneaky.
They're quite a surprise.
Yes, I really understand. Yeah, they need an expert who knows color,
Yes.
Yeah.
And check their credentials. This person passed themselves off as a designer / color expert, and
it can come. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to everybody wants good fortune in their home. Wants to bring that. I have one of my special pet peeves that, I get a cringe when people do this, and I'll share that if you don't cover it. But talk to us about, the fortune corner. What is the fortune corner? And what should we do with the fortune corner?
Yes, they talk about the fortune corner quite a bit, but people don't know really what the fortune corner is. It's quite confusing. From an energy perspective, when you enter a home, the most thing that humans connect with are other humans, because our energy vibration is the same. Now, if there's no people in the home, then the next best thing for us to connect inside and outside of the home are pets. So it could be a dog, cat.
And in my house, because I have 4, you might connect with those first if I don't grab them.
So it's very good to have that kind of energy in your home. Now, if you don't have people, you don't have pets, the next best thing for energy connection are plants. And these are live plants because they're alive. However, we say that inanimate things, those things that aren't alive, for example, let's say my mug, it's not alive, but it still has energy. But the energy is a different vibration from ours. Okay. So if there's no people, there's no pets, and there are no plants, the next thing is the room itself. And so where do we look at when we enter a room? Just instinctively, naturally, the human eye goes to the furthest corner from where you're standing. So if you're in an entryway, your eye will go to the furthest corner. So we call that furthest corner, actually, that's what they call the fortune corner, but it's really not a fortune corner. It's really an energy corner. So we want that corner to have something nice in it. So we don't want like storage in that corner. You know, we want a nice piece of furniture or a plant or a nice picture or something that's quite attractive and beautiful or something that you treasure. So in that corner, because instinctively our eyes automatically go there, that's where you want something nice. So my teacher didn't call it fortune corner. He called it the energy corner.
Energy corner. Now, when you've got, like in my space, it's a very open concept, single story, open concept.
Okay.
So you walk in and I have a family wall, and then there's what I call cat's conversation area that you see, and then there's the couch. I've got like a 5-foot amethyst kind of in the corner. I would think that would be the energy corner, the amethyst. But then it goes further into the living room, and then there's a galley and French doors outside. It's all open. But so would that kind of suffice to stop the energy, or create the energy corner in that room division? Let's say where that 5-foot amethyst is.
Yes, try standing by where you enter, and then see kind of like where does your energy go? Energy? And every space is a little bit different, but usually our eyes tend to go to the distance. We usually put a plant close by because that pulls our energy in the house, and then our energy goes to something. So pull it in with a plant, and then see where your eyes go, and wherever your eyes go, that's where you have something that is beautiful, brings your energy up, that feels welcoming.
I like that. And it's interesting when you talk about that because, and you're a designer as well, but, as a stager and designer, we think of that. We stand back and look and say, how do I want to move the eyes around the room?
Yes.
Or one thing, we have a lot of townhomes in Houston where you might start off, there's just a study downstairs, but you walk, there's like maybe a long hallway to the study and one bathroom. Main living is on the 2nd floor, bedroom on the 3rd. So to move the energy, I always tell my team, work in threes, repetition creates movement. So, let's say 3 round mirrors to lead to, on this long hallway, to lead to the study or guest bedroom or whatever, to create movement.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, because repetition creates movement, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's understanding design concept.
Your eyes, your energy. Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you think about, and I know, form has to meet function. We're doing a lot more design, as opposed to staging. And it's more challenging because you have to marry those two. It's like, I've got kids and they need to take their shoes off here and dump their shoes. And then there's coats and then from my staging eye, I'm just going, oh, I don't want to see coats hanging on hooks as I walk in, or little shoes, So I'm constantly trying to come up with solutions for that, whether it's to hide the shoes or to, I don't know about you, but clutter, and I'm not saying, like if you saw the other side of my desk, I'm not saying my place doesn't fall into clutter. Oftentimes, like we all do, because we all have too much stuff, and especially those of us that work at home.
Yep.
But it drives me nuts, and it makes me anxious. Does it?
I'm the same way.
Does it make you anxious?
Yes.
I can only take so much.
Yeah, and then from an energy perspective, because I study form school feng shui, what we say is form defines energy. Because everything has energy, what we like to see is whole form. So even if you have clutter, If you put your clutter in a box, all of a sudden the form is just a box
Yes.
instead of all these things.
Yes.
So if the form is whole, the energy becomes whole.
Uh,
So
and,
form
and that
defines
just, so I
energy.
like that. I love that form defines energy. I keep something on my grease board over here that I really loved. I don't know who wrote it. Your energy introduces you before you even speak.
Oh, I like that.
You
That
know, I've had to work on my, what I call my resting bee face. And I know I'd love to give lessons to some people. I've had guests on that are, like when the camera gets on them, they've just got this resting, they're not mad, but they have this resting face that it's your energy, right?
right.
When I was in my 20s and even 30s, I have people say, "Are you angry? Are you okay?" Yeah, why? But it's so intense, that
Oh,
like, no, I
that's
feel great.
right.
Well, let your face know you feel great.
Well, that's funny you say face because in form school, guess what? Your
What?
face is a form.
Ah,
So we do study face reading.
really?
Yes, because that's part of your energy. You
Mm.
know, that's
So
part of
let's
and
just touch on that. I mean, how do you study someone's face? Like their resting face, just their structure? I mean, what entails studying their face in form school? I'm
in
just
form
curious.
school, yeah, we look at the form. Somebody with a very square face has kind of like tend to be kind of military,
Oh,
regimented.
oh,
Like the GI Joe. The GI
and,
Joe is
yeah,
very square.
and that's true. Huh? Okay, so how would you define my face?
Your face is a little bit, maybe a little diamond shape.
Diamond? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, a
yeah,
little bit
yeah.
diamond
Smaller
shape.
chin. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, diamond shape. You know, stronger in some points, smoother in other points. Kind of all kinds. You know what I mean?
Balanced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe about.
So
Oh,
what
I
we
thought
do.
I'm going to get a new diamond soon. No. That
But
could be.
yeah, so we look at the face structure, but what is important is more than, everybody's shape is different, but we try to look for balance, the balance of your eyes, balance of your nose, balance of your mouth, and then the overall balance to fit your facial structure because
Mm,
everybody's features are different,
right.
but it matches your face.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well,
And if
how could it not match your face? It is your face.
Well, sometimes there's imbalance and it shows from how you're feeling.
Ah.
You know, when they're not feeling good, the face begins to change and it just comes out. It
Ah.
manifests in some way,
Mm,
you know.
mm.
And
That's
when
that's the old body language, right?
Yeah,
Um,
but when you feel good about yourself and you're feeling happy, your facial features relax, you know.
mm,
But when
yes.
you're all tense, your features also become tense.
Mm, mm.
And even if you don't, you're pretending, but it comes out in some form.
Yeah, you can't mask it. It's gonna come out.
Yes,
It's like
absolutely.
squeezing a toothpaste tube with the cap on it. Pretty soon it's gonna come out that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So if you suppress it too much, they say it affects your body and it can affect your health. So it
Mm,
has to be released in some form.
yes.
So don't
Yeah.
hold in that tension. Make sure you do release it. Energy has to be released.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so we do like meditation or just breathing or just relaxing
The
at the
breath.
end of the
Yeah, the
day.
breath is miraculous. I might have mentioned this on a show before, and I've shared. I'm going to be sharing some meditation for some children that have been displaced.
Oh, wonderful.
Organization, yeah, yes, to you on this Saturday, and the breath is so calming. And you don't have to be sitting meditating to enjoy the calmness of breath. I find myself hyperventilating or holding my breath if I'm in too much thought or feeling a little anxious. And I
Yeah.
will catch myself whether I'm driving or whatever. And because my daughter asked me, "Are you okay?" I go, "Yeah." I'm just taking, I do what I call 4-4-4, inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, exhale 4. And I just do that several times, and calm just sweeps over me.
That's
Um,
wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. That's what our teacher also taught us. He says, just check your breath. Check your
yes.
breath.
Because we
You know.
don't realize you have to, the first thing is to be conscious of it. Once I was conscious of it, I'm like,
Mhm.
I do a lot of shallow breathing. I mean, I have to check myself all the time, because
Mhm.
it just, I'll just kick into shallow breathing.
Mhm.
So yeah, breath is so powerful.
Mhm.
The power of breathing.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
when you're angry, it's like the breath
Right?
changes, or when you're crying, it becomes kind of shallow,
Yes.
that kind, and
Right.
so your breath changes as your emotion changes. So when it's calm and your breathing is consistent, then your emotions also calm down. So
Mm-hmm.
just listen to your breath when you get emotional, and it can tell you what you're feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, so, so we touched on the red door myth, and also directional. So, um, and so that's not a, just to recap, that's not a one-stop solution. That's where you need someone like Jenny, because it's not, yeah, red door's good luck, or the direction. And even I want to go back to the direction thing as well. And some people may not realize this, that anything from a potentially negative feng shui ability can be corrected. It
Yeah.
can be corrected. You can bring in plants,
Yeah.
hang chimes, move furniture. There's corrections that Jenny advises to her clients, because no one has a perfect feng shui home or lot or exterior or whatever, but there are places that you can minimize any kind of or maximize energy flow. And I told you I had one one tip. It's one of my pet peeves, and maybe you can speak to it. One of my pet peeves is to not, and I know cleaners like to do this in model homes as well. Sometimes they even leave the toilet up. Why is
Oh,
that? Why is that not a bad thing, Jenny? Or why is that a bad thing?
well, the myth is that's a
Yes.
Chinese. Well, because they said that the money will flush down the toilet if you don't close the lid. That was what they say. But
So that's not true?
no, it's not really. It's just from a visual, the form. Remember?
Okay, and that's what I was saying. So the form, yeah, irregardless of the money, and I know Chinese culture, I know because I'm married in Chinese culture, they have a
Yeah.
lot of superstition,
Yes.
myth, superstition. But as you say, from a form standpoint, do you
Yes.
want to see the toilet down and feel calm, or do you
It's
want
a
to see
hole. It's a hole. The form is a hole. So we close the hole, so the form is whole. So actually, it's from a form perspective.
Love it. I love that aspect of what you call form feng shui, because it really makes more sense. And I think it makes more sense to the common person who maybe has not been exposed to the reality of feng shui fundamentals, etc. And it really puts, common sense
Exactly. It's common sense.
into feng shui, not woo woo. Oh, you lose your money, it's gonna go out the drain. Which that's
Yeah.
what I always thought, but
They associated it, but basically, there is some psychological connection. So if you close the lid, it closes it, and the form becomes whole.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
that's why we don't like to leave swimming pools empty. We like to fill it. Otherwise, it's a deep hole in the ground.
Uh,
Yes.
Let me ask you this before we sign off. We're about at 30 minutes here, and I want to make sure we get your information and all of that stuff. Um, what about, what's that?
Yeah. After you finish, I have something I'd like to.
Okay, perfect. Uh, I remember looking for a home back when we were in Southern California, and the pool was way too close to the house. I didn't really know even how to spell feng shui back then. This is 25 years ago. But I knew it didn't feel right.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and then I did read that there is a fundamental of that, it's a negative feng shui to have a body of water too close to the house
Mm-hmm.
for that, feeling of that you could fall in the pool,
Mm-hmm.
or the lake or whatever it is. Is that,
Mm-hmm.
can you speak to that a little? Is that part of the
That makes
concept?
absolute sense. You don't want it too close to the house. It's too close. So there's a danger zone. You
A
want it
danger
at
zone.
a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too close.
Okay. Okay.
Because
Yeah,
it's
you're
unsettling. So we don't
unsettled.
want to. Yes, unsettling. So in feng shui, we want to feel calm and in control, because when we're calm and in control, we make better decisions. And
Mhm.
life is about a series of what decisions you make.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's what are you going to do next? That's all you got
Yeah,
to worry about. What is my next step?
that's
You feel overwhelmed, as many of us do. You're like, oh my God, I've got so much to do, and I've got so many challenges, and I've got to correct so many things. It's okay. What am I going to do next? I love
yeah,
that. Life is
yeah,
a series of decisions. Feng Shui helps you to calm your spirit, your soul, your body, so that you can make the best decisions
yes, for a
and
better life.
a better life. Oh, I love it. I love it. That couldn't be any better. So you wanted to mention something
Yes,
up
about
there?
my book. Yes.
Yes.
So the book is on Amazon. It's called Feng Shui Truths, Myths, and Misconceptions. I also have another book called Feng Shui for New Home. Oh, no, that's my Facebook book. How to Find a Good Feng Shui Home. So
How do
they
we
will
find
be
it? Okay.
on sale on tomorrow, just the full Saturday. I'm going to put the ebook for just $1 for 24 hours. So
Wow.
that's your chance to go and get it.
Wow.
So
Okay.
please check.
So this is okay. So that okay. Um, awesome. So if you want to get a feng shui book for $1, I mean that's like the deal of the day, right? And well, that
Yes,
is that an ebook? That's an ebook. It wouldn't be
yes,
printed, so it's an ebook. And that's
yes.
the one. How to find a feng shui home.
And also, I'm doing both of them for $1. So the truths, myths, and misconceptions will also be $1 just for 24
Wow.
hours. Yeah,
Wow. Can I buy it too? I'm going on
yeah.
Amazon. So
Amazon tomorrow. Tomorrow. The what day is Saturday? Yeah,
well,
the
we're
30th.
recording this, but yeah,
30th.
the 30th.
Saturday 30th, all day. It will be on there for $1. So check it out.
Saturday the 30th. Okay, Saturday the 30th. Mark your calendars there. For $1, you can get each of her books, and find your best feng shui home, and also find out about the truths, myths, and misconceptions. And that's the one I'm interested in, but I'm going to get them both, just so if my clients have information that they need. Great information as usual, Jenny. You're just a plethora of knowledge, and I just love that you have passion for what you do, and you deliver, the concepts of the feng shui ability in just a great format that I think folks, again, whether they're familiar or not, are just going to really embrace.
Thank
And
you so much. I mean,
thank
it's
you.
exciting to be here and talking with you, and your knowledge is so deep, you can just pull it out. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? I learn from you guys, and that's why I love doing this, is because I get to meet, wonderful creative geniuses like yourself, and I learn so much. I get to share, but I learn so much. And, sharing is caring, as they say. If you can help one person go, hey, that's great, or hey, let me take advantage of that and make my life a better life, then it's a good thing. It's a very good thing.
Absolutely.
And so go get her book. Go to our YouTube channel within about 48 to 72 hours, Tana by Cat on YouTube, and you'll see this episode with all of her information typed again. But go to Amazon on Saturday and have a super weekend as usual. I don't think I signed off last week. Sandra was so amazing from Rome, and we went a little bit long. But as usual, stay positive, stay hopeful, and stay connected. And we thank you so much for connecting with me and Jenny today. And have a super weekend.